Annual numbers of thefts, a homeowner's insurance policy holder experiences are analyzed over 3 years. A is the event that the policyholder experiences no theft in 3 years, and so on. Determine which three events satisfy the condition that the probability of their union equals the sum of their probabilities. Now we know that this happens if the events are disjoint. The probability of a union of events equals the sum of individual event probabilities if the events are disjoint or mutually exclusive, which means that the occurrence of any one of the events rule out all the others in the union. So now let's look at the first one, A, B, and E. So let's see what they are. A, B, and E. A says no thefts in 3 years. B and E. B says that at least one theft in the second year. So obviously A and B cannot occur at the same time, because if there are no thefts in 3 years, then we can't have at least one theft in the second year. And then the last one was E here. E says the policyholder no thefts in the second year and at least one in the third year. So again, if A happens, A is saying no thefts in any of the 3 years, so then E cannot happen because E is saying that there is a theft in the third year. So that means that if A happens, then both B and E are ruled out. So now let's see what if B happens. So if B happens, we have at least one theft in second year. So right now we're just focusing on choice A, where the events are A, B, and E, and we are seeing what happens if one of them happens. So we've shown that if A happens, then B and E cannot happen, and let's say that B happens. So if B happens, then we have at least one theft in second year, which means A cannot happen, because A is saying that you don't have any theft in the 3 years. And E says that no thefts in the second year. So also E cannot happen because B is saying that there is at least one theft in the second year, while E is saying there are no thefts in the second year. So they rule each other out. So that means if B happens, then A is ruled out and E is ruled out. And now what if E happens? E happens means no thefts in second year, which means A is no thefts in second year and at least one in third year. So that part rules out A, because since we have at least one theft in the third year, so A cannot happen because A says that there are no thefts in any of the 3 years. And then again, we have already seen that E and B cannot happen at the same time, because E says no thefts in the second year, while B says at least one theft in the second year. So that means that if E is true, then both A and B are also out. So in these A, B, and E, I've just shown that if any of the three happens, the other two are ruled out. So that means A, B, and E are mutually exclusive, and therefore A is the correct choice. And now, so here in this example, I've demonstrated one of the situations where A occurs, and I've just written down that how the occurrence of A rules out the B and the E, whereas the other options I've just explained. But let's just, for the sake of, so we already know that A is the correct answer, but for the sake of further understanding, let's see what's happening in the other choices. Let's look at B. B is not, so what is B saying? B is talking about A, C, and E. So C and E cannot occur at the same time. C and E can occur at the same time. So let's see what C and E are. C says exactly one theft in first year. E says no thefts in second year and at least one theft in third year. So C and E can occur at the same time. None of them rules the other out. If you look at it, theft in the first year has nothing to do with what happens in the second, third year. B is just talking, C is just talking about the first year, while E is talking about second and third year. So whatever they are saying cannot rule the others out. So since C and E can happen at the same time. So therefore, they are not mutually exclusive, and therefore they don't satisfy this condition, because this condition is only for mutually exclusive events. So C, okay, so then let's look at choice C. C says A, D, and E. And now here A and D cannot occur at the same time, because A says A and D can occur at the same time. A says that no thefts in 3 years, and D says that no thefts in 3rd year. So, in fact, um, if A happens, then D definitely happens. So therefore, they can happen at the same time. So therefore, this one is also out. And similarly, now in B, C, and D, and we're now looking at choice D, B, C, and D. So let's look at B and C. B says at least one theft in 2nd year. C says exactly one theft in 2nd year. And that can happen at the same time. I mean, B is only saying at least one theft. And that means that that could be just one. At least one means one or more. So B and C can both be true. So anytime both of them are true, it means they're not mutually exclusive, and therefore that choice is out. And same thing in E. E also has B and C in it. So now what I have done in these other 4 choices, I've just demonstrated that among the 3 letters in the choice, there are at least 2 which can happen at the same time. Now, it's possible that there is another pair in the 3 which happens at the same time, but we don't have to worry about that. As long as we find one pair where both can happen at the same time, we know that that's not the correct answer. Whereas in A, we had to go all the way. We had to, because since A was the correct choice, so here we had to make sure that occurrence of any one of them rules out the other 2. So the correct answer is A here.